Well, good evening and welcome to Leading Ladies Leaving Legacies, Living Legacies. It's Wednesday night. So every Wednesday night at 7 p.m., we come to you and we bring you a lady who's going to share much of her story, her journey, her mission, her destiny with you. It's always interesting and it's always exciting. And tonight is no exception. We have with us a doctor, Dr. Carol Atkinson, and she is a licensed marriage and family therapist. Now, that covers a lot of territory. In the beginning, I used to read the bio, no more. And by the way, I forgot to say welcome and thank you for being here. My name is Joy Ruffin, and I'm honored to be among you today to share this beautiful lady with you. We're going to talk about a lot of different things, but first I'm going to ask her to come over, introduce herself, give you a little bit about her background, and then we're going to talk about an exciting adventure that she's on that she wants you to share with her. So I'm going to ask you to help me to welcome Dr. Carol Atkinson. And here we go. How are you, my friend? And welcome. Good to see you.
Hi, Joy. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm absolutely delighted and wonderful to have you here with us tonight because we have a lot of things to talk about. But first off, Carol, I want you to share with us a little bit about your work, how you came to do the work that you do, and why you love it so much, and how much you're going to share with us tonight. Now, that's a lot. We'll go into it gradually. A
Okay.
little bit about you.
All right. So let me start off by saying that without a doubt, you'll be able to tell from my accent that I'm British.
Yes.
So I was born and raised in London. Shout out to all the South Londoners.
Yes, 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 yes.
And I'm one of seven children. I'm the bang in the middle. There's three older than me and three younger.
Uh-huh.
And I often describe myself. I know one of the questions you ask is, what's unique about you?
Yes.
And what I say is unique about me is how I come to be myself. And I describe myself as truly international. And that's because my parents, so my heritage is Jamaican. My parents are Jamaican. I'm British, born and raised in South London. And for the past 15 years, I've lived in South Florida, well, in America, initially in South Florida and now in Central Florida. So that's what's unique about me. My background, my professional background is actually in social work, child protection, mental health, and social work education and training. However, I'm trying to think of what year it was,
Yes.
the early 90s, social work took a huge change in London, in England, in fact,
Uh-huh.
to the point where social workers were being, there was healthcare reform that meant social workers were no longer going to be managed by the social services department, at least not mental health social workers. They were
Uh-huh.
going to be managed by the health department, which meant that I would be managed by a psychiatrist. Not that I have anything against my psychiatrist colleagues, I love them dearly.
Yeah.
However, my philosophy of treating people doesn't fit with the medical model. And
Hmm.
so I decided to leave the social work profession and shift to family therapy. So I actually came to America and did my PhD in family therapy.
Uh-huh.
So that's how I come to be where I am today as a family therapist. So I did it in marriage and family therapy. And since 2011, I have owned and managed private practices in Florida, all have been in Florida because that's where my license is. And over the years, especially recently, what I have found is that my training led me to view people through a particular set of lens, and that lens was psychopathology, which again didn't fit with my philosophy of treating people. And what I realized that I was their symptoms, it had nothing to do with medication or anything that came under the medical model. I was advising people to do things like go and have a massage,
Mm.
go and do, take on yoga.
Yes. Well, listen, I want to stop you just for a second and interject because this is a new format, and I'm loving all of your information, but I'm really playing with the dials and having a good time.
Okay.
And so, but I heard what you said about leaving London to come here and the reasons why and so on. And I get that what you're about to share with us is going to lead a lot into what you're doing now. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, absolutely.
Go.
Yes, yeah. So over the years, since 2011 up until recently,
Uh-huh.
I have always treated people in a particular way. And like I said, it was through a lens of psychopathology, which is the way that I was trained. But
Yes.
again, it didn't fit with who I am and how I feel comfortable treating people. I
Mm.
am more comfortable treating people holistically.
Yes.
So I believe in the entire person, their environment, their relationships, their communities.
Yes. Especially today. Especially today.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And so what I realized that I was doing in my practice was advising people to do things that were sometimes outside of their comfort zone.
Uh-huh.
Meditate, attending yoga, treat yourself to a facial, a pedicure, a manicure, things that you don't typically do, but that will make you feel better, that will make you feel differently. And again, a lot of it was about, helping people to step outside their comfort zone, to do something different, to bring about different results.
Did you find that they resented that? Were they not happy or in tune with that? Or did you find that they were embracing that?
Oh, people embraced it wholeheartedly. Yeah, it was easily embraced.
Yes.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've had anybody that's rejected it. To the point where one woman that I still see, she now has regular massages.
Huh? Uh-huh. That's great. All righty. So that said, what I get when you were in London, what you did and how you did it, and now you're here, and you've been here for a little over 15 years or so, right? You've
Yes.
established and owned your own practice, your own business, and all
Mhm.
of this knowledge and experience has led you to do what? Because we're going to talk a lot about tonight. I love the title, Paradise on Earth. And I like the way you're bringing us to it because you're saying that you discovered that a lot of the people that you were working with, they were welcoming and embracing all of this body work, this holistic work that you were introducing
Yes.
them to. So tell us how you came, not necessarily, well, yes, how did you come to this paradise on earth, this retreat that you're going to be having, which I think is pretty
Yes.
much March the 27th through the 31st. Tell us a little bit more about that as I roll and scroll through some of the data about that.
Right. Okay. So, how it came into being was really connected to people that I was seeing and how I saw that people's lives were being transformed from doing different things. And these different things were, like I said, people stepping outside of their comfort zone
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
and doing like yoga, meditation, things that they've never done before, having a facial, having a massage, a pedicure, a manicure. But the bigger picture was, I think I mentioned this to you before, that one of the things I do in my practice with people is what I refer to as, and it's funny because your name is Joy, a joy audit.
Yes, I like it. I like it.
Yeah. And I could actually do it with some of the audience.
Yes, 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 yes.
What I do with the joy audit is I ask people, identify three things in your life that brings you joy, three things that you enjoy doing or that bring you joy.
Uh-huh.
The next stage, I say to people, put those in order of priority, one, two, and three. And then the final question is, over the past 2 weeks, how many times have you engaged in any of those activities?
Ah,
And what's really sad about the responses is very often it's one, two, or zero. So when you look at that in its entirety, it makes sense that people are feeling depressed and anxious and low in mood
yeah,
because they're not spending enough time participating in the things that bring them joy.
yes,
And so a lot of the work that I do and a lot of what we're going to be doing at the retreat is getting people to make a paradigm shift in the way that they live at the moment towards intentional living.
I like that. Intentional living.
Yes.
Big, big word, because today too many of us have gotten into the settling and the adopting and taking in what maybe is not the best for us because we're not in sync enough with ourselves. So
Absolutely.
intentional living really offers that individual the opportunity to dwell in a way that's engaging for them.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And so intentional living is about living a life of purpose, living a life of things that mean something to you, things that you place value on. Sorry, my
Yes,
earpiece
yes, yes.
keeps falling out. Things that have value to you as an individual. And then taking time to pause and reflect and asking yourself, how are my thoughts, emotions, and actions in alignment with my values? And
Mm-hmm.
if they're not, then you make the necessary adjustments. And you can make those necessary adjustments by doing a joy audit yourself.
Ah,
So I might enjoy traveling. I enjoy cooking for, family and friends. I
right.
enjoy calligraphy. I enjoy yoga. And if I haven't done any of those things for a month, then you can imagine what my life would look like
Mm.
because I'm not spending enough time or any time doing the things that bring me joy.
Right, 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 right. Now, I skipped over this a wee bit, but and I think I have the answer, but I never assume anything these days. Family therapists and all of that. The people who come to you, do they come as a family, as a unit, or does an individual come and then gradually you bring the others that you know probably need your sage counseling to come in to join with you so that they can get the awareness that they need, the awakening?
Right. So people are referred to me in different ways. Most of my referrals come through word of mouth.
Yes, which
So,
is the best still
yes,
today.
past
Mhm.
clients recommend me.
Yes.
And oftentimes I might start off by seeing one member of the family, realizing the impact that it might be having on the entire family system, and
Mhm.
then requesting from the person who I'm seeing that the rest of the family comes in. So it could be I'm seeing a wife and I will ask her husband to come in. I'm seeing a wife and a husband, and then I might ask any children to come in. However, when it comes to family therapy, one of the things that we've realized in our work is that it only takes one person to change an entire system. And so oftentimes the person I'm working with in therapy, I let them know that the easiest person in any relationship to change is yourself.
Yes.
The entire family system.
Yes. Yes, indeed. That's a rule of thumb that I don't think has changed over the ages, and I don't think it will be changing either, even though the family structure, the family system, so to speak,
Yeah,
is changing. That will remain. That will remain.
yeah.
Now, how did you, not necessarily how did you come to decide? I think you've explained that, but give us a little bit more in-depth rationale about how you came to decide that this paradise on earth, this woman's retreat, was so needed. I heard you mention holistic. I heard you talk about all the other reasons that you people come to you and you find that they enjoy and they appreciate the things that you're offering them. But how did you come to this, and what is your intention for this retreat to give the people who come? I'm so sad that I won't be able to attend, but I know it's going.
Right. There will be another one, so don't worry if you missed the
Yes,
first one.
absolutely. Mhm.
So the way I came to it, Joy, was really by noticing and seeing the impact that was occurring with the people that I was seeing in my practice, the transformation in their lives.
Mhm.
A lot of hurt people come to me. And so the healing process and the outcome as a result of that healing process is what made me realize that, wow, this is some really good work that's going on here. This is some positive healing. And how can I do it in a way that impacts more women all at once? Because I was working with I mean, I work with men, women, and children,
Right, right, right.
but primarily when I think about, what about the women's retreat?
Hmm.
Oftentimes, and as business women, we're working around the clock.
Hmm.
There's no such thing as a weekend,
Yes, yes,
you
yes, yes.
know, even Sundays. And I think, particularly as businesswomen, we're oftentimes the core of our families, the core of our households.
Oh, yes.
And so it's so important that we take care of us so
Yeah.
that we can continue our role in taking care of the rest of our family.
Carol, I find this fascinating for numerous reasons, but we all know this, but somehow, sometimes knowing is not enough. They tell
Yeah.
you when you get on the airplane, the first thing, if you have to put the airbag, put it on you first before you attempt to put it on your child
Yes.
or your. But yet, we as women, we know this, but something within us lends and tends to gear us towards supporting, aiding, and assisting the others before we look after ourselves.
Yeah.
Don't understand the magnitude of why that is, but it is. So your point is well made. I get it. I'm sure everyone in the audience gets it too. Yet it is something that we have to adopt, because if we don't, we lose ourselves ultimately. And that's why you
Yes.
retreat.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's also an opportunity for women to come together and connect with like minded women or just connect with other people. I can share a story with you about someone who
Do.
attended my yoga class this Monday.
Great.
And, it was the first class since Christmas and New Year, and everybody was catching up. And she asked me, how was my Christmas? And I said, oh, it was wonderful. My husband and I went to Jamaica and we had a fab time. And then
Oh,
I said, how was yours? And she said, oh, dear, Carol, it was awful. And I said, oh, dear, I'm so sorry I asked. And she said, oh, no, I asked you first. And it was awful as she described it, because she said, her daughter that she has here, she recently moved from California, but her daughter that she has in Florida is Jehovah's Witness, who
uh-huh.
don't celebrate Christmas.
Yes, 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 yes.
And she then went on to tell me that she spent the entire Christmas and New Year by herself.
Wow. Oh,
That even though the March retreat hasn't gone yet, but that there's a lot of people like her, that
mhm.
perhaps a Christmas retreat for people who don't have anybody to spend the Christmas with would be a great opportunity for, again, like-minded people to come together.
Yes. And I
But
think
just
there's a larger number, Carol, than we know. I think there's a larger number of people who do. I know here in the community that we're in, the number of people who don't have loved ones to celebrate with, it's huge. It's
yes,
larger than you.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a great suggestion.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the primary purpose of the retreat is really to give women an opportunity to take time out of their busy lives, the competing demands of work and home and business, because we never do turn our clock off when you're a businesswoman.
No, you don't. You don't.
It's going all the time. So really to take time out and immerse yourself in a lifestyle that's putting you at the top of the scale, putting you as a priority,
Yeah.
where you'll have time to stop, reflect, pause, and be still for a moment, whilst all the things that you typically do during your life, you don't have to worry about.
Yeah, this is true. And in point of fact, Carol, you, myself, and all of the men and women who tune in here, most of them are working as entrepreneurial solopreneurs, whatever. Different from when you're in corporate or business and you're working for someone. When you're your own,
Right.
you're really 24/7. And it's
Yes.
harder, it's more difficult to turn off that engine, so to speak. So I get what you're doing. Now, the time flies here. Tell us a little bit more about your retreat. Get us really excited about it. Give us the dates. I think it's
Yes.
March the 27th through the 31st this
Yes.
year,
So,
2020. And this is
yes.
really the year of women. I don't know if men are invited to this as well, but it's really the year for women. It's our year to rise, to essence,
Right.
and to all the greatness that is in that's
Yes.
there. So tell us a little
So,
bit more where it's going to be, the place, and so on. And I will run across here a link where people who come to us, and tell us a little bit more about this on your end, if they come and leave us their name and their email, then they'll be put into a drawing where they can get a book and a retreat that is geared towards being a part of this event. So you take
No, they
and
hold
share.
on. They won't get a retreat. Let's not
No,
misrepresent.
no, to the retreat, I said. Okay, yes. Thank you for that. No,
Okay.
no, they don't get the retreat.
Yes.
I would love the retreat, but I couldn't go if I got it. But anyway, yes, they get a book and a hand cream.
Yes. So let me introduce
Tell us
people to
more
the
about
book.
that. Yes,
So let me tell you a bit more about the retreat first. How are we for time?
please do. We have about
Yes.
10 minutes. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Plenty of time.
So one of the ways that I designed this retreat is I asked myself, if I were going on a retreat, what would I want?
Yes.
And on a women's retreat. And as a woman, a female, go into another state, say perhaps I'm coming from New York, by myself, if I didn't have a girlfriend to accompany me with, one of
Mhm.
the things that would concern me is safety.
Yes.
So the very first thing that we've put in included is airport transfers to be picked up from the airport and returned to the airport at the end of the retreat.
Hmm.
Once you've been picked up, you'll be transported to a fabulous house in Florida Space Coast. It's 9 bedrooms, swimming pool, hot tub. Most of the bedrooms have ensuite bathrooms, but a very palatial, high-end house, very beautiful house, and it
Wonderful.
overlooks the water. And just being in the water brings about healing in itself. The visual aspect of water brings
Yes.
about healing in and of itself.
Hmm.
And what I have done, I have handpicked these service providers. So once you get to the retreat, you literally don't have to worry about anything. Once you're in the house, breakfast will be provided, snacks throughout the day, and an evening meal will also be provided. And there will also be workshops sprinkled throughout the entire 4 days. And those workshops will be, like I talked about earlier, workshops to do with healing, workshops to do with self development, workshops to do with human connection, and all the things that are important in life. So
Absolutely.
there'll be a number of workshops sprinkled throughout the entire retreat.
Right.
I have handpicked professionals, all who are licensed, certified, and registered. And these are people who I've either worked with in my professional life or I have used their services myself. So I know the quality of their work.
They're fully accredited then because you
Yes.
make sure, yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And these are estheticians who specialize in skincare, manicures, pedicures, deluxe pedicures, I must add, massage therapist, a dietitian who will talk to people and really educate people about food, food as medicine, what foods to stay away from when you're feeling stressed, eating on the go, but really educating people about nutrition.
I think that's great. I really think that's, you know why? Because of late, maybe it's just a time in my life, but we all, you know how I said earlier, we all know things and yet we don't know, and somehow it doesn't.
Yes,
We all pretty much know, have heard, have read, have seen that food is medicine, but we don't treat it like medicine.
absolutely.
Don't eat it like medicine. I
Yes.
know from whence I speak because I love all of that good old Southern food that I was raised on, that grease, that lard, that butter.
Yes.
That's not good for you. So that in itself is worth a retreat, and the
Yes.
other things that you're doing. Yes.
Yes, yeah. And all of those services, also, one of my colleagues that I used to work with in South Florida,
Yes.
she will also be attending because her and I will be providing life coaching. So each attendant would also get a 30-minute life coaching session.
Now, for that
And
30 life coaching session, does that person walk in and ask you something, or do they just say, I'm having issues here, I'd like some clarity here, I need some help here, and then you give them that 30 minutes of sage counseling? It depends.
it's on offer. People don't have to take it. No, nothing in the retreat is mandatory.
I love
We don't want it to feel like you must attend this or that. It's mandatory. And also we're definitely going to be building in some free time because we realize the importance of relaxation. And it really is about taking oneself away from the competing demands of your daily life to
Yeah.
just be and do something different, to pause and be still and slow down. Each participant will also be receiving a welcome badge, which they will also take away. And that's where these books come in, because
Yeah.
these books will be included, not both. Each bag will have one
A
book.
different bag.
And
What
you'll
what
see
are the
this. I'm sorry?
what are the titles of the book?
Okay, so this one is the Little Book of Intentional Living.
Okay.
This one is the Little Book of Inner Peace. There's another one, Pause Every Day, 20 Mindful Practices for Calm and Clarity. And there's another one, Slow, Finding Peace and Purpose in a Hectic World.
So everyone will get one of those four books so that they can.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, no, not one each. So, different books. So,
uh,
one person will receive
gets
a
one
book.
book.
Yeah, yeah,
One. Yes.
yes,
Oh my. This
yes.
is. You have really thought this through and through. It sounds like it's going to be not only. I love your word palatious. We all like
Yes.
palatious.
Yes.
It can never be too palatious for me and for you and everybody else that we know. So that sounds good. And then the water is always soothing and relaxing
Absolutely.
and all of that good
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
So it really, you said there will be another, and the other, as soon as you let me know about it, I'm going to schedule it in because I have to tell you, Carol, I've just gotten into all of this physical body therapy, yoga kind of stuff, and I have to,
Right.
I love it because I'm boom, 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 like this, high
Yes.
energy and always on the go, and calming down from within is crucial to your existence
Absolutely.
if you want a long life. And I
Yes. And to help you continue functioning.
there
Yes.
you go. There you go. So
Yes.
it really sounds ideal. I'm hoping that the people who came and who were able to tune in will connect with you. That's my intention always, is that somehow, even if they're not able to attend your event, that they will take your information and make a friend connection with you, however,
Right.
Instagram, Facebook. I don't think you're on, but I have your website here. So they can
Yes.
go there and connect with you because it's all about connecting women one to one so that we can get to know, help, support, and engage with each other. So
Absolutely.
I can't thank you enough. Now, is there anything that you want to share with us? Because the time flies here before we say so long for now, and I'm going to attempt with these dials, which I'm having some issues with, to drop you into the staging room, and then I want to say so long to the audience. But is there anything you want to leave us with or share before?
Yes, I do. And I hope I can do it in a minute or two. And it
No
really is
rush.
a,
If we go over, it's okay.
okay.
No rush.
Okay. It's about helping people to understand this concept of intentional living. So when I think about my profession, and some of which is informed by psychology, positive psychologists, or the majority of positive psychologists, agree that happiness or our well-being, a large amount of it is genetic.
Yes.
And as we know, genes cannot be changed. So when I teach this to my clients, what I inform them is that 50% of our happiness is genetically based, so we can't change that. 10% of it is to do with our age, our gender, and our social class, our environment and communities.
Sure.
That can be changed.
Mm-hmm.
The other 40% is to do with us. And this is where I teach people about intentional living. If you have the opportunity to change 40% of how you live your life, and we all do, then it's important that you do that with intention. So that's what I want to leave with people, to know that if you're living a life at the moment that you're not happy with, taking that step, first of all, making the decision, and then taking that step to move forward towards change.
I think that's a beautiful ending, and I don't think anyone could have expressed it better. So I thank you for that. And I love the intentional living, which is what ultimately, at some point in time, if we're on that journey of self-exploration and being the best that we can be, Oprah coined it, but it's for everyone, then that's what we need to be about is intentional living. And a
Absolutely.
retreat can never hurt, can never hurt.
Never.
I thank you. I thank you. I'm going to ask you for the staging room, and then I'm going to say so long to the audience. And I wish you all the best with this adventure. And I
Thank you.
know that it will be successful. And I can't wait to hear back. So long for now.
Okay. So long.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. What can I say? First off, this is the first time with the studio too, and not too bad for the first time out of the gate. Yet Carol is fascinating, isn't she? Don't you love that accent? Oh, I do. I could listen to her all night. But beyond that, way beyond that, the message that she's giving us, the journey that she's on, and wanting to share all of her knowledge and all of her expertise with those who want to rise to be all that we can be and the best that we can be. She's offering this retreat, which is sounds like it's going to be absolutely fantastic. I hope you'll join. And if you can't get there, then connect with her. I scrolled across her website, her name, her phone number, her email, and then also make sure that you're in the drawing for the one book and the one hand cream. One person will win. I want to be clear on that. And as always, we're always making changes here with Leading Ladies, Leading Legacies, Living Legacies. I'll still continue to broadcast on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. I'm making quite a few changes, which I'm not quite ready because I haven't finalized everything quite to date to make changes. But as soon as they are finalized, you know that I'll be sharing them with you. In the meantime, stay tuned. It's all good and it's all for you because the service and the projects and the products that we bring, it's all for your benefit, to benefit you in one way or another. And that other is always for the best. So I'm hoping that whatever you're doing, whatever you're about, that you will enjoy it to the max, that you will make it the best day ever and continue onward with your life and take advantage of every opportunity that offers you a chance to grow into your better self. That's what we're all here for. I read somewhere that it said, your purpose in life, your purpose in life is to find your purpose. And then when you do, to give it away and share it with others. That's what Carol is doing. We all do it in our fashion and our way. So, my friend, be and stay well. Look after you first, as Carol said, do the best that you can, and then you're able to look after many, many others. Joy Ruffin, leading lady, leaving legacies, living legacies. Until we connect the next time, you be and stay well. All the best. So long for now. Cheers. Now, I have to find out how to end it. Yay.